desires to go on the cocktail circuit. They want to see if there's part of you that desires to go on the cocktail circuit. See if they can co-opt you. See if they can get you to sell out, which is where it comes from. See if they can get you to sell out. And that's where we're at right now. They want to see if they can buy off the people who are truly about this life. They want to know if they can buy them off. And if they can, then they want to see if they are able to destroy the movement from within, to see if there are any of you they can buy off. And when that doesn't work, they take a look at it and see, okay, we want to emulate your style. You see, our style is the hardest thing to do. Going door to door is hard as hell. Politicians and people like that, they look for somebody who's already done the footwork and gone door to door and see if you can deliver the vote. That's what they want. Let's see if we can get you to deliver the vote. You go out there, you're one of the people who's recognizable at the street level. People trust you because they know you're from the streets. They recognize you from the streets. And what you're going to do is cash in your street credibility and deliver those people to us. There's something to be said for a low budget movement. You see, something could be too big. You take a look at this billboard up here on your screen. This is put together by Oprah Winfrey. You take a look at that, and that's what she does. That's what bougie niggas do. They get together with their graphic designers. Take a look at the background. They got Breonna Taylor. They got this really, looks like paintbrushed background behind her. They've gotten somebody to do the layout for it. I mean, it looks more like the cover to one of her magazines is what it looks like there. So that's what happens when the bougie niggas get a hold of it. This is what happens when the revolutionaries get a hold of it. When the revolutionaries come out, we ain't got time to sit up here and run it by the graphic design department and see if we can gussy it up and make it flashy. And does it look like a magazine? We get right to the damn point. And we make sure you cannot miss us. That's our style. So right now you got people attempting to steal our style because that style is genuine. It comes from the heart. It comes from the heart. I'm not trying to win any awards for best presentation. I'm trying to disrupt your day. I'm trying to get your attention and disrupt your day. I don't give a damn if you like me. I'm trying to disrupt this thing. I'm not trying to gather people who agree. I am trying to assault the people who don't. So you can see a clear difference between the text when put up by the revolutionaries and the text when put up by the phony illusionaries. It looks totally different. Yes, I mean, I can do layout. I've been to school for it and everything. I could do all that stuff. No, I'm not going to do that because I wanted you to see exactly what it looks like and what the point is. The biggest words on here across the whole billboard is the name of Breonna Taylor. And second to that only is produce justice. And see, I'm speaking to the street level people. Those of you who know Neely Fuller, you understand when I said produce justice. Oprah Winfrey don't know who Neely Fuller is, but the streets do. The streets know who it is. I'm speaking to the streets. I'm speaking to the enemies of the streets. So the people from the street know who that is. And they respect it. When you all saw produce justice, I'm making all the connections to let you know all the street people, the street level activists who've been doing this year after year with no cocktail parties, no award shows, no Obama patting us on the back, no thanks, no parades. We do this because this is where we live. And the wording of it, the layout of it, who we reference, totally different. I want to give you a moment here to think this over right here. Do you realize I quoted Neely Fuller on my billboard? When I went out there, I quoted Neely Fuller. The compensatory code system concept. I quoted Neely Fuller on my billboard. Who did Oprah Winfrey quote? She quoted herself. She quoted herself. I ask you, who is serving the people? For those of you unaware here, yes, I'm giving you a refresher from last night. We had some technical difficulties, but we gonna charge through tonight. Oprah Winfrey got her big wiggly, jiggly, piggly wiggly ass up and takes herself, after we put up our billboards in Louisville, after I announced weeks ago that that's what I was going to do, then all of a sudden, no less than Oprah Winfrey comes booming into town in Louisville. This woman never bought a billboard for Tamir Rice, never bought a billboard for George Floyd, never bought a billboard for Sandra Bland, but she shows up out of nowhere and purchases no less than 26 billboards in Louisville, Kentucky, to attempt to purchase street credibility for herself because she has none. She heard that the real street level activists, the folks at the street level, the people with the spray paint cans, she heard that we were coming and we were showing up and that we were going to get things done and didn't need to have a TV contract, didn't need to have a record deal, didn't need to have radio contracts. We taking it directly to the streets. That's what they heard. The street level activists are genuine and sincere. We're not well heeled. We're not well financed. What we do, a lot of it is crude. Oh, yes, I would say a lot of it is crude. No fancy graphic designs, which I can do, by the way. You all have seen the billboards we had made for my films. Race War, Gentrified, 7 a.m. I did all of those myself. Yeah, I can do more fancy layouts when I want to, but this ain't about a fancy layout. This is about saying a very clear message. This is me spray painting the message in the sky in red, white, and blue. Since you want to talk about America in red, white, and blue. No fancy designs. I'm not sitting there trying to get no damn awards. And I represent the street level activists and the street level revolutionaries. I represent them. You see, it's hard for us to do this. This is hard. Purchasing one of these is hard, much less TV time. This is hard for us. It's difficult for us to do this. This is a hard undertaking for us. It requires a lot of sacrifice, a lot of resources. But this fat, bugly heifer, this is the cost of one of her Hermes Birkin bags. What she spends in one of these high-end luxury stores in Soho or Beverly Hills, that's what it costs. That's what she spent on billboards. This is a handbag to her. But for those of us representing the streets, this is heavy lifting. This is heavy lifting. It ain't easy what we do. But the people resonate with it because real recognizes real, and the streets recognize that it's real. They recognize that it's real. They recognize that what we do is not easy. They recognize that this is hard for us to do. This is difficult. And that's why it resonates with so many people, because most Black folk are from the streets. Most black folk are from the streets. So they recognize real. And so your bougie, co-opted corporate Negroes, they recognize real too, which is why they're saying, you know what, we need to use their methods. Niggas don't trust you because they see you on TV. They don't trust you, Oprah, because they don't see, you ain't no place where they recognize anything. They don't trust television anymore. Yeah, you own TV, but they don't trust it anymore. You can be on cable, but they don't trust it anymore. You can have magazines in all the grocery stores, even though yours is getting shut down now, but they don't trust it anymore. They trust us. They trust the people who go door to door. They trust the people who every holiday we're broadcasting. They trust the people who, when the soldiers were in the streets, we were putting down the shoe leather. We were getting the names out there. We've been bailing people out. They trust us. They trust us because we show up in their daily lives. They trust us. You can't buy that type of credibility. You can't buy a bunch of folk. Ain't nobody paying us no money to come up here every Sunday. Nobody's paying us. Nobody's giving us a salary. Oprah Winfrey and them, they got contracts. They get big money to show up every week. We don't get that. We don't get that at all. We show up here for people we don't even know. And check our resume. The string of people that we stood up for. Oprah Winfrey has talked about one or two people. We've talked about practically all of them. So what I'm telling you is that the low budget, street level activist tactics that we've been using, low budget tactics, low budget, big effect. And now the phony pro-black pretenders who are trying to buy street credibility, they're now just trying to copy us because it's worked. They see us getting results. So they're saying this is where they go to, folks. These people are not original. They have the same playbook. Now the playbook is copy and co-opt. We're just going to copy your tactics and we're going to co-opt it. Oh, you ain't going on TV? You're not going on radio? Fine, we'll go to social media and we'll buy a bunch of billboards and we'll drown you out. There's a certain magic. I'm sure plenty of you understand. In the music world, there's a certain magic to garage bands. There's a certain magic to indie acts. Folks who are trying to get a record deal. You remember Nipsey Hussle when he was first starting out with Crenshaw. There was a certain magic to that. There was a magic to having that. There's a magic to somebody relying on their creativity and they're just putting their guts out there. There's a magic to it. And people recognize that type of genuine effort. But people, our genuine effort, they're attempting to co-opt that now. They're attempting to co-opt that and hijack it. The tactics of the true, genuine revolutionaries, now they're trying to hijack it. Oh, I'm not saying it because I'm worried. Let's be very, very clear. If you all remember 2 years ago when Roland Martin attempted to bring his chili cheese dog looking ass to the internet because he got fired from TV One. Remember when he came to the internet and assured everybody big things was about to follow? I told you then, he was trying to audition to get a job back on CNN. He doesn't want to be on the internet because he can't handle it. Remember, he used to sit there in his little struggle apartment and take phone calls. Remember that? Remember that? Remember when he did that? Remember when he used to take phone calls? He don't want to do that no more. He don't want to do that. See, there's a reason why I do things the way that I do right here. I do it because I want to stay rooted in the soil. I want to stay rooted in the soil. I open up phone lines. I'm going to open up the phone lines here tonight. I want to communicate with the soil. And the rest of these folks, remember I told you all, he's going to try it. He's going to try to emulate us, and it's going to fail. It's going to fail. When the uprisings were happening in Ferguson, that nigga was nowhere to be found. Charlottesville, Virginia, even though he lives and works in D.C., this nigga couldn't get his 1979 Volkswagen Beetle to go drive down 95 to go to Charlottesville. Now, the true revolutionaries were out there. This nigga lives there and wouldn't go. He's 45 minutes, an hour up the road from Baltimore and wouldn't go. The revolutionaries were in the streets. He wouldn't go. Tariq and a lot of you were out there in the streets. He wouldn't go. I went by Charlottesville. He wouldn't go. Nigga never set foot in any of those places. And he lives there. And he lives there. You can't substitute real. You can't substitute it. You're not going to be able to turn on a webcam and all of a sudden you're the new black media. Yeah, Roland Martin was mad as hell. And all y'all folk who think you the new black media, we the old black media. No, Roland, you're not the old black media, you're the dead black media. You're the dead black media. You've got all those corporate connections, but can't move no weight. You got all those supposed corporate connections, but can't move nothing. And you're taking a look at a group of, and let's just say it like it is. I ain't got no shame about it. I ain't got no shame about it. You're taking a look at a ragtag group of revolutionaries. I ain't got no shame in it. I'm not ashamed to say it. I'm not scared to say it. You have a ragtag group of revolutionaries out here. We're doing stuff with bubble gum and baling wire. We out here nigger rigging everything. Nobody's guaranteeing us nothing. We grabbing what we can get. We're doing what we can. Nobody's giving us anything. We don't have a big budget for nothing. That's right. We ain't got no uniforms. We ain't got no up-to-date vehicles. We don't have an airline budget. Grandmama is doing the cooking for the food. We just getting by how we get by. We taking it day by day. We calling Rollo, we calling Leroy, whatever we can get. We don't have any celebrity guests lined up because the celebrities didn't kickstart the revolution. Let's be very clear about that. Your celebrities didn't kickstart this thing. And a bunch of them have been bought off and co-opted. You see, your celebrities had decades now to say what I'm saying. Your celebrities had decades now to say what I'm saying and to repeat what we're repeating, and they ain't doing it. They could have kicked off to talk about reparations. They didn't do it. And they didn't do it because, as far as they're concerned, they got their reparations. They got theirs. Damn you if you ain't got yours. They got theirs. They don't give a damn what you ain't got. We got ours. The celebrities are trying to figure out how to get TV contracts, Netflix deals. So you see, our vocabulary doesn't fall from their mouths after that. I was about to say it falls out of their mouths, but really, our vocabulary drops from their vocabulary. You see, when they get around us, it's about reparations. But remember what I've always taught you all. If you want to know what a black person truly believes, sit them down in front of some white folk and ask them anything you want to know. They won't lie to white people. They'll lie to you. They're not going to lie to white folk. They will look you in your face and lie to you because you're black. There are no consequences for lying to a black person. There are consequences when you lie to white people. They're not going to lie in front of them. So when you stand Killer Mike, I'm saying it. I'm saying it. No, don't wait for YouTube to notify people. I need all of y'all to share this. We the street revolutionaries. We don't need YouTube to spread it. If they don't want to spread it, we're going to do it ourselves. Let everybody know. But when you get Killer Mike at a press conference, stick a microphone in his face, and then you say, Killer Mike, when you come on the internet talking to black folk, yeah, we know what you're going to say, but I'm going to sit you in front of some white folk in front of this microphone. The white folk called you in front of this microphone. The white folk called you in front of this microphone and said, speak to your people. When Killer Mike was standing in front of some white folk, all of a sudden, the things he wanted to talk about changed. And the first words out of his mouth were, I'm the son of a police officer. My father was a police officer. My uncle was a police officer. And I had to ask myself, who are you talking to, man? Who is that statement supposed to be? You're trying to reassure someone with that statement. So I'm trying to figure out, okay, who are you talking to? Who is that statement directed at? To make, who are you trying to make feel like you are qualified or have authority to speak? Because the revolutionaries in the streets, are you letting them know your authority to speak is I'm the son and the nephew of police officers? That's the authority with which you speak? I represent the streets. I will not apologize for representing the streets. I ain't looking for celebrities to co-sign me. I represent the streets. Jason, you might mess it up and Killer Mike might not call you back. I spoke to him once. Okay, I ain't got to speak to him again. If standing by black people and being real about this makes it where I don't ever talk to Killer Mike or T.I. again, so be it. So be it. So be it. So be it. Let me tell everybody here, I'm cool with that. If I can work with them, that's great. But if standing by the people puts me at odds with you, so be it. So be it. If me saying that we will not compromise puts me at odds with you, then so be it. Because you celebrities have had years to kickstart the revolution. You niggas ain't did nothing but try to get TV deals and handbag deals and record deals. You've been improving things for yourself steadily for years, but down here on the streets, we ain't seeing nothing. So I don't want to, I've said this before, I don't want to hear from any more celebrities. You all remember this here for months ago. I told you all the cookout is closed. I don't want any more white allies showing up at the damn cookout. Nobody else. There are no more guests in the house of hip hop. Tenants only. I don't want any more celebrities trying to speak for us. Y'all need to just contribute money to the cause, but y'all need to just shut the hell up because all of you are puppets and mouthpieces of the establishment. Speaking on reparations ain't hard, T.I. It ain't hard. Speaking on reparations is easy, but it don't start with Lloyd's of London. Starts with the American government. And the least you can do is get your funky ass stripper, washed up stripper looking mayor to say that as the mayor of Atlanta, I am calling upon the United States government to deliver reparations to all of the descendants of American slaves. Now, to do that doesn't require legislation. To do that doesn't require a bill. To do that doesn't risk a veto. It is an elected official saying, I called this press conference today as an American citizen and as a American political figure that with whatever powers I have vested in me and authority I have to speak, I'm calling upon the United States government to deliver cash payment reparations to the descendants of American slaves. That doesn't cost you anything except your courage. Oh, yes, and your honesty. Because you see, when you can't say that, that means that you got a different agenda. What would it hurt for your politicians to just say the words? Because you see, when it comes to LGBT, they say the words. Even if they can't get a law passed, they say the words. Did you get that? Even if they can't get a law passed, they say the words. And as Black people, we have been allowing them to not say the words. We've been tolerating people who are Black politicians and won't even advocate for us. And it costs you nothing. But you see, these individuals have been behind closed doors with these folk. And these folk have let them know, yeah, that's a non-starter for us. So when they come back out here amongst the people, then they say something different after they've gotten these other people behind closed doors. After they've gotten them behind closed doors. See, it's not lost on me that Bernie Sanders was not in favor of reparations to Black people. And then all of a sudden, Killer Mike wasn't stomping for reparations for Black people. It's not lost on me. It's not lost on me. You're not following the lead of the streets. You're following the lead of your white paymasters. You sound too much like them. You sound too much like them. So when the revolutionaries take to the streets, and by the way, it should let you know something here. I ain't stepping on nobody's toes, but I guess if I got to, put on my Timberlands. Killer Mike and T.I. told the revolutionaries that they need to get out the streets, and the revolutionaries didn't get out the streets. They hauled out Killer Mike and T.I. to say, "This Wakanda." And the revolutionaries said, "Nah, nigga, this ain't Wakanda, this is Blackistan. And the beef is on." They tried to speak to the streets, and the streets didn't listen to them. You got to understand the white establishment, oh, they pay attention when something like that occurs. When they march you out there and tell you go speak to your people and talk them down and you can't get the job done, guess what? They stop inviting you to their little cocktail parties. They stop inviting you to that. Because the whole purpose of allowing you access to their parties and their functions and their forums is that you are going to be able to talk Black people down when you want them to be talked down. That's why they don't want to give nothing to the Black clergy no more, because them old niggas ain't able to influence the streets anymore. They can't influence the streets anymore, so nobody wants to give them any more money. Nobody's giving them any more support. Now they're trying to grab their rappers and celebrities and say, okay, let's see if you can succeed where the clergy niggas fail. That's not working now either. Now they're trotting out Oprah. She's next up. She had no choice in the matter. They told her, get your raggedy ass out there and do something. And she's tried her best. And that ain't working neither. That's not working neither. There's something to be learned from this, is what I'm trying to tell you. People recognize sincerity when they see it, is what I'm trying to tell you. I'm trying to tell you that's where the people are today. The people want the real. The people want the individuals who are going to stand up for their interests. And they understand at this point right now, you can't trust the celebrities to stand up for that. The celebrities are not going to stand up for that. Nobody trusts them to do it. And right now, you need them to be able to do it. And you're not able to get the job done. That's the problem that people are having. So your paymasters are worried. Your paymasters are upset because they're saying, you know, you really need to get more done right now. And we don't see where you're getting the job done. I know a lot of you have been wondering about street level activism and whether or not it was going to get anything popping for it. This is where we at now. You didn't have your athletes, you didn't have your entertainers, you didn't have your celebrities, you didn't have your so-called civil rights icons. You didn't have any of them. You just had a ragtag group of insurrectionists. And we were able to shoulder the load on our own. And now the corporate puppets are attempting to copy our tactics. They're attempting to copy us. But the problem is they've gone off and bought their designer suits, because that's what they do. They actually think you bring designer suits to a revolution. They think you bring designer handbags to a revolution. They think that you bring your luxury cars to a revolution. They done hopped out the gap with their hair freshly done, their suits neatly pressed. Oprah Winfrey says, see, I've got my little pink designer Gucci 380 handgun. You see it here with genuine leather stitching and real wood on the side of it. Ain't no designer suits in a revolution. Revolutionaries don't wear designer suits. They don't wear designer shoes. Ain't no gators. Ain't no snakeskin boots. It's just who's really about it and who really isn't. That's all there is to it. We're going to see if we can take a brief commercial, non-commercial break, assuming we don't have any issues here. When we come back, we're going to go ahead and see about taking some phone calls, if we can get that to go properly here. If we have any issues, we're going to see if we can work through those. I'd like to go ahead and talk to you all if it is possible to do so. This is the Black Channel.
Hey, what's up, y'all? Hope y'all wearing your mask everywhere you go, and more specifically that KN95, protecting against all the germs that are in the air. But also I want to tell y'all one more thing to stay safe. Hand sanitizer, but with aloe vera. So you put some of this on, you rub it around. Not only do you knock all the germs, but the aloe vera smells so amazing that you're killing two birds with one stone without drying out your skin. Because traditional hand sanitizer leaves your hands feeling clammy and disgusting. So definitely get hand sanitizer with aloe vera. So one more thing I want to tell you about though. This code right here, cut the check. So let's say you bought a couple of masks, and you bought a couple of hand sanitizers, and your order exceeds $50, we waive the shipping fee with the code cut the check. So on your checkout, remember to put that in.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. We are living in extreme times right now as to where we need protection. If you're looking for tactical gear, whether it's for work purposes or protect yourself in your home, come and check out Centerfire's Tactical Gear. We have the best tactical gear for you. We have the top of the line name brand companies such as AR500, Chase Tactical, and many more. Also, we're carrying the KN95 mask as well. Check us out at www.centerfiretacticalgear.com.
This is the Black Channel. I am your host, your brother, your humble servant, the Black Authority. And we are discussing tonight, as you all have seen, and for those of you who are unaware, we went out and did something that no one has been doing in the modern era. The world as a form of mass communication had totally abandoned billboards. Everybody had moved to the internet. Nobody was really checking for that anymore. And over the last few years, we have been wielding that because I've been using it because it was available. And because it gave us a way of intruding into people's day in a manner in which they could not ignore. When there's a big old, it's like the car sitting next to you in traffic, you can't ignore it. Well, when there's a big old sign sitting in front of you too, you can't ignore that either. So what we did was, that is a method that we've been using. These are street level tactics, but it's what we've been using, and it's been effective. It's been effective. People didn't think it was, but it's been effective. And now, your old black media, your dead black media, now they're out here trying to do the same thing now. They're trying to purchase street credibility. They saw that it worked for us, so no less than Oprah Winfrey herself, after true street level activists came to Louisville, Kentucky, and put the message out that we're here for justice for Breonna Taylor, why Oprah Winfrey brought all of her resources to bear for the first time ever. For the first time ever. And all these things we told you that she was supposed to be doing decades ago, all of a sudden she popped up out of nowhere. She put down the ice cream sandwiches, and out of nowhere, she's jumped up and bought 26 billboards, and she got them to allow text on the billboards that they wouldn't allow me. They wouldn't allow me to do this at all. Showing you that with her considerable resources to bear, and just with her name, she was able to get them to make concessions that they never made for us. And the purpose isn't because she's sincere. The purpose is because she's being sent in. She's a white supremacist collaborator. She's been attacking black men black people and specifically black men now for decades. She never bought billboards for Sandra Bland. If you all think it's about, well, it's a black woman, she never did any of this for Sandra Bland, never did any of this for Rakia Boyd, never did any of this for Ayanna Jones, never did this for any black female. Why now? Why now? She's doing it now because we're more effective and we are more heard and we're carrying the narrative today. That's why she's doing it now. That's why it's gotta happen now. She doesn't have the option of waiting. The white folk who prompted her to do this don't have the option of waiting. In the chat room, you're correct. You can't use YouTube's algorithm, can't shadow ban a billboard. You might be able to stop us in other ways, but you can't shadow ban a billboard. You can't bury the numbers of a bill. You can't refuse to alert subscribers for a billboard. You can't do that. And they said, nobody watches billboards and whatnot. We said, you know what, we're going to make it do what it do. Now they're imitating us. If you doubted before how effective our methods are, tell me why Oprah just she didn't do, not even quintuple, just 25 times what we did. 26 times what we did. 26 times. 26 times. And the reason for it is because if you doubted that what we were doing was effective, she just let you know. She just let you know, oh, hell yeah, it is effective. It's all kinds of effective here. She's letting you know. You might not believe it, but she does. We have been beating the pavements about this now for over a decade. You've had individuals telling you that what we were doing wasn't working. Who watches documentaries? Nobody's gonna see your billboards. That ain't gonna change nothing. All of the cowards, all the coons, all the professional white ass kissers who've been telling you for years what wasn't gonna happen and what wasn't going to occur, and now them niggas is silent today. They're silent today. And they're silent today because we've changed things. They're silent because things have changed now. And we didn't get here in just one day. I want us to be clear about that. We didn't get here in just one day. We didn't get here in just one afternoon. We got here because our street credibility is intact. Our street credibility is fully plated. And the people listen to us. So when you see the old black media and the corporate black media trying to steal our methods, they're letting you know this is where the audience is now. The audience is over here with us. The audience is listening to us, and they're hoping that they can bum rush the door. And well, if we just go where they are, we'll get street credibility too. It ain't gonna work that way. See, I'm okay being on the Chitlin circuit. I'm okay with that. I'm not here to get status or prestige. We on the Chitlin circuit, there's where we at. There's where we at. I'm all right with that. I'm okay with being on the Chitlin circuit. I'll take that. I'll take that. If that's what it takes to get change, I'll go ahead and do that. I've got no ego to inflate or offend. We'll just be the folks who won the revolution on the Chitlin circuit. That's who we'll be. That's who we'll be. We're going to go ahead and try this out. We're going to open up the telephone lines. The number is 646-787-1933. That's 646-787-1933. your personal access code to the black media, you can go ahead and give us a call. If Oprah's out there, if she'd like to call up, you certainly can. By the way, I'm the only outlet that allows that as well, for better or for worse. We'll allow you to do that too. I want to talk tonight about copying the true street level activists. I want to talk tonight about the fact that a lot of you were saying to yourselves that what we were doing was inconsequential because you wasn't seeing any celebrity backup. Now, I've been saying for years now that we were far more effective than anybody was giving us credit for, and that you weren't going to be able to wait for your white media outlets to sit up here and make a headline saying that, you know, these black first people are controlling the national narrative. That ain't gonna happen. They're even to this day, they're telling you all that Joy Reid is where it's at. They're telling you right now that Joy Reid is who Black America is listening to. I'm not joking. Go watch MSNBC. If you let them tell it, Joy Reid is who Black people trust and get their news and information from, if you let them tell it. So you understand that's a false statement, but if you're waiting for them to acknowledge us, that ain't gonna happen. That ain't gonna happen. We're gonna go ahead and open up the telephone lines here. Let's see if we can go ahead and put this through. Let me get caller from area code 646. You're on live with the Black Channel. What's your name? Where you calling from? Let me see if I can get that taken care of.
From Macon, Georgia.
Okay, calling from Macon, Georgia. What was your name again?
Sosa.
Sosa from Macon, Georgia. What's on your mind?
Hey man, you're the real deal for all these billboards that are going on nationwide. You got these white supremacists shook, man. They're really going in their focus groups, getting together, seeing what they could do, you know, because election day is coming up around the corner. You know what I mean? And, you know, notice they don't, you had Vice coming to your race war show. They're watching you. They're watching you. They act like they don't, but they know you exist. They're watching you. They have people who are watching this very program right now. So just keep doing what they're doing, what you're doing, man. You got them shook.
Well, thank you very much for giving us a call tonight. Please do give us a call again. They are shook because this wasn't supposed to work. This wasn't supposed to work. This was never supposed to get this far. We weren't supposed to be able to get this far. And what they want to know now is, how do we buy off Jason Black? That's what they want to know now. Well, can we buy him off? See, here's the real thing. Let me go ahead and give the old media, the old corporate media, you got to understand, if you all really wanted your ratings to go up, you would come to the new Black media and you would hire one of us. Your ratings would skyrocket. Your ratings would skyrocket overnight. You'd actually have a real audience. But you see, they're not going to do that. And they're not going to do that because there's no way to buy us off. But you all know, if they came to the new Black media, yeah, ratings would skyrocket, but the agenda is going to be reparations. The agenda is going to be punishing race soldiers. The agenda is going to be capital punishment for white supremacists. Oh, hell no. Because most of your corporate heads at MSNBC and CNN are white supremacists. Oh, we're not going to allow that. Let's go ahead and get this non-descendant of slaves mammy over here, who's going to say whatever we want her to say because she needs a job. They're not going to come to people who don't need a job. We're fully vested. They're not going to come to us. They're going to go over there and see if they can get Joy Reid maybe to galvanize an audience for them. It's not going to work out the way they think. Let me get caller from area code 863. You're on live with the Black Channel. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Yes, Jason. My name is Doris Sealy, and I'm from Lakeland, Florida. And I've talked to you before. I just wanted to call and say thank you so much for what you do. I can't say that, I don't know if I can, but we need so many people like you. We really do. We need men like you, Tariq, Clark Anderson. We need everybody like you on our team. And I'm not going to cry because I'm just so happy that I started listening to you. You speak the truth. You're straight to the point. At first I was like, Jason is a little whatever, but I've learned to appreciate that. And I'm just happy to have you. To be in your presence on the phone. I can't speak it enough that I'm just glad that you're doing what you're doing, bringing awareness. I have my grandchildren listening to you. I'm glad to have you. And I'm glad that you do what you do. I really appreciate it. I really 100% appreciate it. You do what you do, keep doing what you're doing, and I truly understand that Oprah and what she's trying to do. I then fell out with this lady when I looked at her last show and saw all the white people in that. That told me that this lady is not for Black people. And I don't understand why people would follow her. I understand and I agree with you 100%. She's trying to hijack the show and make it seem like it's something that she did, but everybody knows that she didn't think of this. You did, and they're getting on your bandwagon, and they are listening to you, and they're taking heed to what you're doing, and they're following your lead, even though they may not give you credit. So again, I appreciate you to the fullest, and I'm going to continue to listen to you every time I get a chance.
Well, thank you very much. The real issue here is in Oprah's case, the question now isn't what she's doing today. The question is when the next person is attacked, when the next person is killed, what is Oprah going to do then?
Not a damn
Is Oprah
thing.
going to show up with 26 billboards there? Or is she going to go back to the cocktail circuit and go schmooze it up with Hillary Clinton and her white Hollywood friends and Barbara Streisand to go hang out with them and go primp the hair on their poodles? Thank you very much for giving us a call tonight. Let me get caller from area code 818. You're on live with the Black Channel. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Hey, Jason, Jimmy in San Diego. How you doing this evening, brother?
Jimmy in San Diego. What's on your mind?
Well, I want to just touch on the gathering at Race War up in Beverly Hills. Like the first caller said, it was a really good game chopped up there, man, with Officer Brian. Mona Lachey held it down, and we had Judge Joe Brown really weighing in. And trust me, they definitely don't want a message like that to get out. But I really want to talk about this carousel of bootlegs that's been on MSNBC. All these foreign flag individuals that they're trying to get to I guess, prop up Joy Reid or fill in for a spot. It's not working.
No, but it's the only tool they got.
And Oprah with her billboards is as fake as a $3 bill simply because we'll be here all night long naming the people in Chicago that can testify that Oprah has done absolutely nothing for them while she's been, once again, like you say, on the croissant and cheese circuit. So we see through her, the message is ineffective. And I was glad that we broke that story with her and these phony billboards, because at the end of the day, like you said, when the next Black person is a victim of one of these white supremacist race soldiers, like the two girls in D.C. that almost got lynched by those Secret Service officers, where was Oprah then, Jason?
She was probably sitting at Barbara Streisand's house or Susan Sarandon's house or whatever white liberals she hangs out with that she's been hanging with for the last 40 years. Where's Oprah Winfrey's Black friends?
She don't have
If Oprah Winfrey, she's up there in Chicago and whatnot. I mean, that's where she made her name for herself. Where's her black friends in Chicago when all these things are occurring? Where are they at? And that just lets you know everything right there. They're serious about this. And when the smoke clears and something happens to us, that's where she's going to be, not over here with us.
Watch her pop up Kamala Harris. Between Kamala Harris and Susan Rice, we both know that they're probably going to pick Heels Up Harris with her ratchet record out here of just allowing black people to get lynched and slaughtered while protecting the police cops and taking cash from the union and not punishing police soldiers. Watch mysteriously Oprah Weight Watcher Phil Wobbly Butt get up here and start praising Kamala Heels Up Harris' name. What do you think about that, brother?
Well, she's already in with them. So it's not really going to take a whole lot, to get her over there. She's already in. Those are her peeps, man. Those are her people. We're not her people. Those are her people. And her people are letting her know. I mean, she has already expressed contempt for us in public and around them. So those are her people. She knows what they want to hear. She's going to do that. Mm-hmm. And when her back is to the wall, and those white folk tell her, okay, where you stand, she's going to go with them. She's going to go with them. I can't make it any more plain for anybody. She's going to side with them. It's what she's always done. It's what she'll always do. When her back is to the wall, she is not going to side with us. She's going, right now she's saying what she has to because she realizes that her and Gayle really overstepped their bounds, that they got hung out to dry. Yep. And I'm going to tell you right now what I predict. I'm predicting the past is the best indicator of the future. She's going to talk like this for just a little bit. Then she's going to go hold a kumbaya session where she invites a bunch of white people off the streets and say, we're going to have us a talk about race. We're going to get together and discuss race. And then let's get in our feelings. She's going to get some white men who've been calling black folk nigga since they could walk. And she's going to be like, why do you have to be like that? Don't you know we're all God's children? And he's going to be like, well, yeah, Oprah, you know what? I was raised down there in Biloxi, Mississippi. And, I ain't really know a whole bunch of black folks like that. And, you're one of my favorite black folks, though. My wife been listening to you now for 30 years. She loved you, especially that show you did with the cars. She loved that right there. You get a car, you get a car, you get a car. Man, that was great. Yeah, so as long as you're the entertaining mammy, that is the level of contact that Oprah Winfrey has with white supremacists. And this is the point I was making last night. You and I don't get if the worst thing that happened to us was that we went to a store to go buy a high-priced handbag and the clerk, got funny with us. If that was the worst that was happening to us, there wouldn't be a march for reparations and a fight against white supremacy. That ain't white supremacy. Somebody at the damn Chanel store not selling you a purse, that's not white supremacy. That is not mistreating you with impunity. That is not a system of people targeting you to deprive you of resources, life, liberty, and the pursuit of property and or happiness. That ain't white supremacy. That's Oprah Winfrey's experience with, quote, racism. I couldn't get a handbag I wanted. She's sitting among black folk who have been shot, killed, assaulted. All of us got stories like that and telling us, oh, I know exactly how you feel. I couldn't buy a handbag once. If that's a white woman talking, dude. That's a white woman talking.
You said it last night. I was just listening to the rebroadcast right before you jumped on live, and I couldn't agree with you more. When you said, hey, I got pulled out, held at gunpoint, and they gave me these false instructions like, give me your ID, but as soon as you reach for your license, then they're ready to pull the trigger on you and shoot you, like they did the brother up in Torrance. So, yeah, you and I, first of all, we don't even make it to the store, right? They pull us over, jack us up as we're going down Wilshire Boulevard and Santa Monica Boulevard to get to Beverly Hills or go shop over there. So, yeah, she got life and bullshit mixed up, and we own it. I know you probably got a bunch of other callers, Jason. I appreciate chopping up the good game. And, man, just how do we got to delegitimize this family syndrome that is just festered up? I guess y'all predicted this. When we had the State of Black Union last year, y'all predicted there's going to be a whole bunch of these families that they will pop up and that will pop out of nowhere. We got to continue to delegitimize them.
Well, that's what we're doing now, brother. When Oprah Winfrey comes up out of nowhere and purchases 26 billboards out of nowhere, encroaching on something that we were doing, and she grabs the same tactic we were using. We came up with our tactic, and she says, "Let me steal it." Brother, that right there lets you know we've already delegitimized them. The damage is already done. It's already done. She's already conceding, yeah, y'all got it. She's over here trying to say, well, let me see if I can get, you've got the audience. Let me see if I can convince them that I'm legit. Thank you very much for giving us a call tonight. Let me get a caller from area code 313. You're on live with Black Channel. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Hello, Jason. My name is Ken. I'm calling from Detroit, Michigan. How are you doing?
Okay, Tim. If you're on Bluetooth or speakerphone or whatever, I'm not sure. Your volume's a little bit low. Speak up a little bit there. You're calling from Detroit.
Yes, I am, sir. I recently started buying into Black-owned businesses, and I recently started putting my money into it instead of these white-owned establishments. I understand your message. I bought your video, or should I say DVD race war. All I want to say is keep it black first. And thank you for your message, sir.
Well, thank you very much for giving us a call tonight. Please do give us a call again, because what you do makes all the difference. I'm just one guy, but when you and me and us and we and all of us get together and follow a pattern of behavior, that's what changes things. Caller from area code 347. You're on live with the Black Channel. What's your name? Where you calling from? Oh, last try. Caller from area code 347. Wake up.
Hello, Jason Black. This is Uzoma from the Poconos.
Zoma from the Poconos. What's on your mind?
What's going on, Jason Black? Man, I can't. This is my first time calling in. I just became a subscriber to you this year. Man, like I said, man, what a wake up call it's been. Thank you so much for your message and contributions. I'm a little nervous right now. Hold on. One thing I want to bring up that I've been noticing is this attack on the black males that's been going on with the celebrities, Kerry Hilson and Megan Thee Stallion, talking about black men is not here to protect black women. And shout out to you with that billboard that emphasized that us black men, we're here to support Breonna Taylor and all our sisters and mothers and grandmothers and all of that. And I just want to know, like, do you think that is like a manny conspiracy? Like, do you think the black women, the black mammies, all teaming up trying to divide us? And
well, yes.
Us and all that good stuff?
Yes. I mean, this is the playbook that has worked. It worked on the plantations. They attempted to do it when the white feminists were on the march, but individuals like Sojourner Truth and Ida B. Wells wouldn't go along with it. They said we are black first. The problem isn't that we're women. The problem is we're black. So when Susan B. Anthony and her ilk attempted to co-opt black women at that juncture, it failed. But white supremacy kept trying it. And so eventually they came back. And in the 60s, they found that there were a whole bunch of closet narcissists. And they found enough black women who were willing to put their selfishness ahead of the group and say, okay, we'll join the white women. And the white women played them for fools. And it worked. So, brother, the reason they keep trying this is because it works. Now, it has been losing its momentum in recent years, but not if we don't keep after it, because they are of a mind that we are led by our celebrities. And what they're getting is a brutal wake-up call that we're not led by the celebrities. You all think that I am just blowing smoke and I'm exaggerating. Go ask Killer Mike and T.I. when they told black folk in Atlanta, y'all ain't got to do all this and get out the streets, did the people get out the streets? No, they didn't. No, they didn't. So the celebrities don't run it anymore, brother, but you're dealing with white supremacists. These are the only tools they got. Right now, they're using everything at their disposal. They're marching out the riot police, the National Guard, the white media, the old dead black media, celebrities, athletes, whatever they can get their hands on. They are throwing it. They're slinging everything at the wall. And the fact that they've even trotted out Oprah's ass at a mothballs lets you know, man, they're doing everything. They're doing everything. And so in the chat room said it, Carrie Hilson. I mean, she's not a one-hit wonder. She's a 1/3 of a hit wonder. Not even one. Right. I mean, I'll give her a little bit more than a quarter. She's about 1/3 of a hit. 2 more thirds and she would have had a hit. So I'm just saying, brother, now she's like Terry Crews. She's getting attention now for getting on the internet cooning out. She's getting on the internet cooning out. But that's what they've been told. So, and the other thing is, you all don't understand. I'm about to step on some damn toes here tonight, but I got to do it. And if I make some enemies among some people, I guess I got to do that. I guess it's just my fate. But I can't help but notice that every time I find a black person at this critical juncture in history, every time I find a black person trying to talk us down, there's some white person that they have either personally or financially invested in, not too far away. Ain't that right, Killer Mike, running the jewels? Did I say something I shouldn't say? Am I making enemies? Have I offended some of my friends? Have I offended some of my people? All right. All right. I just couldn't help but notice there. By the way, I see Bernie Sanders on your left, Killer Mike. I see that dude from Run the Jewels on your right. And all of a sudden, I'm starting to feel like I understand why reparations is something you kind of hold on to, but kind of don't. Oh, but I'm making it up, but I'm exaggerating. He says some good things sometimes, so we got to give him a pass. If it was somebody else, all right, okay, fine. T.I., oh, wait a minute, I ain't forgot about you. Every time I turn around, there's some white producer you schmoozing about. We don't know none of these white boys, but you keep vouching for them. Oh, yeah, and need we forget Iggy Azalea? Oh, by the way. Oh, ain't forgot about that. You thought you had found a white female Eminem. You was getting ready to ride that. I ain't hating on you for making money. I ain't hating on you for that. I ain't hating on you for making the money, dude. Make the money. I ain't hating on it, but I just can't. I just need to make you aware that we understand y'all get too cozy with people from the dominant society, and then you get out the bed confused. You come out the bank confused. You come away from the concert confused. Or at least you think we are. So I just couldn't help but notice your commitment to standing by the black agenda. These folks who keep having issues, I keep finding that there's an interracial element to them. Ain't that right, Carrie Hilson? Tia and Tamara. We can go down the list. Terry Crews. I keep seeing there's an interracial element to y'all. You see, I'm not afraid to offend none of you niggas because you ain't leading. I don't have to make you happy with me. You got to make me happy with you. I don't have to make you friendly with me. You need to figure out a way to make me friendly with you because you're not leading. You just a nigga with a record deal. Let me just say that straight out like it is. If I ain't never said it straight before, let me just say it like it is. Silly Willie D. You used to have a record deal. You just a nigga with a record deal. You just a nigga with an album library, a discography. That's all you are. That's all you are. You're an entertainer. You're not real. See, the problem comes when you start confusing reality with your entertainment. Oh, am I hurting feelings? Am I hurting feelings right now? It's a bunch of you dudes. You're in Atlanta. You're in Houston. You might know some affiliated cats, but you ain't one of them. You made a name for yourself by convincing the world that that's who you are. You made a living by convincing the world that what you say on those albums, you the gangster. You know who the gangsters are? They're the ones getting shot and killed. You know the real gangsters when you see them. Most of them getting shot and killed. Most of the real ones are getting shot and killed. As KRS-One said, because gangsters don't rap. So most of the real ones are out here dodging bullets. For real, for real. The rest of you cats, you make money off of convincing white folk that because you black, you could be a gangster. Now, black folk know that your gang affiliation ain't really legit, but you make money on it. We ain't hating on you for that. The rapper Rick Ross, we ain't tripping on that. Corrections officer Ricky. But you make your money by convincing white folk that this is legit and this is real and this is who you really are. And the problem comes when you start believing your own albums. When you come around black people who know that ain't real, and then you come in front of us like you calling shots. You make an album about you calling shots, and you make this phone call and somebody come up missing. I make that phone call and I'm flying to Dubai and all this stuff. All right, man, that's entertaining on an album, but let's just keep it real, nigga. You make money rapping like that's what you do, but the problem comes when you turn off your damn CD or you turn off your MP3 player, and then you come among black people talking to us like you still calling shots. Well, that works perfectly fine to a nigga trying to get a record deal. That works great. That doesn't work for the rank and file black person out here on the streets ain't trying to get a record deal. That doesn't work with us. That's not entertaining to us. Because just like what you do don't faze the real gangsters, what you do also doesn't faze the real activists and the real revolutionaries. It don't faze us. That's the real problem. So don't expect them to give that up, brother. That's the only play they got. They're going to hold on to it for dear life. Thank you very much for giving us a call tonight. Let me get called from area code 636. You're on live with the Black Channel. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Yeah, my name is Patrick from Missouri, a.k.a. True Power is Mine.
Patrick from Missouri, what's on your mind?
Hey, brother, I just want to say thank you for your broadcast. You know, I also host the show TPIMSR Live. But I want to talk to you about a thing you mentioned a while back for the young men about.
You have phony revolutionaries. You also have phony activists. If you really want to network and get your name out there, you go through the proper channels. If you were really that relevant and if people really cared about your channel, they would go there already. This is not, please listen to my demo night. Let's get it together, folks. Caller from area code 646. You're on live with the Black Channel. What's your name? Where you calling from?
James Grant from Brooklyn.
Okay, what was your name again?
James Grant from Brooklyn, New York.
James from Brooklyn. What's on your mind?
All right, I've been driving in from Brooklyn through the Williams Bridge over there, and I see that sign, and when I look through my windshield and see all those white people in their Mercedes, and like they're shocked that that billboard is working. I gotta give you props for that. I've always listened to you, and keep up the good work, brother.
Thank you very much for giving us a call tonight. Please do give us a call again. You see, a lot of folk. The thing is, if I was trying to promote something, I'd put the billboards in the black community. I'd put the billboards in the black communities in New York if I was trying to sell something. I ain't trying to sell nothing. I'm fighting white supremacy. You're going to fight white supremacy by taking the message to the white supremacists. So when you going on your morning commute, when you're coming from Brooklyn into Manhattan, I would like to greet you with a great big huge billboard reminding you that you are coming to a place where racial profiling is legal. Putting it right in your face, real estate bigger than life. Tell me, where's Oprah and the rest of the phony activists, all you New York rappers, all your hotep hobos up there? I had to come all the way from Shreveport, Louisiana to deliver the Sermon of Freedom because your so-called black activists in New York in the last damn decade, them niggas ain't done it. Somebody, but let me go ahead and step on all y'all damn toes. You niggas up there in New York, ain't none of you niggas in New York impressed me. All you internet YouTube people, I don't fool with none of y'all because none of you niggas impress me. You niggas ain't pulling no weight in your own damn city. None of you internet, YouTube, blog talk, yakety yak niggas who've been doing this forever, don't none of y'all impress me. If y'all wonder why y'all have never seen me talk to none of them, it's because none of them niggas is real. Somebody explain to me how in the hell they spent decades on damn East Street corners in New York playing dress up like it's Halloween, holding debates every damn year like it's Friday night fights, and then a damn thing get changed in New York. And I had to come all the way from Louisiana and get you niggas straight and get your city straight. Why is it you couldn't do this? Where the hell are you at? No, I ain't got nothing for none of you niggas. I ain't got nothing for none of you. None of you niggas is real. None of you. Not a one of you. If y'all don't see me fool with them, they ain't real. All them niggas do is sit around and talk about history and talk about etymology and semantics and religion. None of you niggas are real. None of you. None of you are getting the message out there. None of you. None of you have changed the narrative. Not a one of you. You were sitting there a decade ago, we're going to have a debate, and at the debate, everybody buy your tickets. We're going to debate each other. You're not even debating white supremacists, by the way. Now, there's the real insulting part of it. You ain't even debating white supremacists. You're sitting around debating each other. This is a bunch of bored nigga babble. Can I just lay it on the line? All these ADHD, recessive, remedial after-school students who've grown into adults ain't delivering no tangibles. You're not doing nothing. None of the politicians are talking about you. None of the political leaders are talking about you or your agenda. None of them are using your vocabulary. They're using ours. Now they are using ours. WABC has called me. The Breakfast Club knows me. I don't want to talk to them. I ain't got nothing to say. I mean, I got plenty to say. Just nothing you want to hear. By the way, you notice they ain't talking to them niggas in New York either, by the way. Breakfast Club is right there in New York. They talking to niggas from Los Angeles. They talking to niggas from Philadelphia. They'll talk to Tariq. They'll talk to Umar. They'll talk to Dr. Claude Anderson. They ain't talking to you niggas in New York, though. Ain't nobody really want to holler at you. Nobody really wants to talk to you, and you right there in their city. Oh, am I making enemies? Let me take some more phone calls before I make more enemies. Caller from area code 512. You're on live with the Black Channel. What's your name? Where you calling from?
What up, Jason? It's your best friend, Brian from Houston.
Brian from Houston. What's on your mind? Such as it is.
Well, I just want to say,
great work out here, and definitely proud of the Billboard campaign that you have employed. I do think that there are nefarious reasons for Oprah doing what she's doing, but I do think that she is building on a foundation that regardless of the terrible reasons that she's doing it, whether her white masters are telling her, whether she's trying to hijack it. The fact is, more people, this is a way, a roundabout way for the Black people with influence to actually use their resources for the greater good. This is indirectly happening through the billboards that Oprah is putting out there.
Well, thank you very much. Okay, let me get the next caller in here, folks. Try to make it brief. I'm going to try to wrap things up here. Let me get caller from area code 510. You're on live with the Black Channel. What's your name? Where you calling from?
This is Tony calling from Union City.
Tony from Union City. What's on your mind?
So, man, you're spot on, man. You're excellent with the work that you do. I want to say that first. But when you hit that hit list, I call it the hit list with the Oprah Winfrey's and the rest of them cats and Michael, Killer Michael. The thing about it is, if we want to wonder why we was put in slavery, a part of it was it takes a Black man and a Black woman to put a Black man and a Black woman in chains. So they've been using that strategy forever. And I don't know why Black people don't want to fight back against that. Number two, what I see in the Bay Area, the reason why we can't get up and cause a revolution and we don't fight back is they drowning in debt. They're drowning in debt and they want more debt. Talk to me, Jason.
Okay, who's drowning in debt?
Black people, period, as a whole in the Bay Area is drowning in debt. In the Bay Area. So when you ask, when you ask them to fight,
the real problem isn't that, brother. The real problem is most Black people, the civil rights generation taught Black people that the way you fight white supremacy is to appeal to their moral conscience and convince them to integrate. So you have a segment of Black society that's been trying to work that failed strategy that was given to us by white society simply because there was just another system of control and another mechanism of submission, because to appeal to somebody's moral conscience basically means that you waiting on them to do the right thing. So white folk made it sound like integration was some type of demand. That somehow we were taking something from them. We were demanding something. That integration was a form of exercising power over them. That's what they made it sound like for us. That integration was us exercising power over them to get them to do something they don't want to do. When in reality, no, it's just you spent all the previous 240, 300 years asking their permission to do something, and now you're asking it again. So that's what so many people were conditioned to buy into, this alternative form of begging that you call integration, waiting for these people to do the right thing. Power isn't about waiting for someone to do the right thing. Power is telling them this far and no farther. You will not go past this point. You won't. And that was why when the uprisings began, what I did was I told folk, if you've been charged with a serious felony, call me first. Because if you're out there in the streets, you are saying this far and no farther. And I wanted to let the district attorneys and everybody else know we got their back. Oh, no, we're not asking nothing. We got their back this far and no farther. Literally, or there would be consequences. So that's the thing that's changed. So it's not about being in debt, brother. You still got a bunch of folks, especially out there in California. Los Angeles has stood up in the last few weeks, but in the last few months. But when you get into San Francisco and places like that, you got a bunch of folk who are still trying to integrate their way because this isn't about money. This is about their priorities. Their priorities are still interracial sexual access, which is what integration to Black people of the civil rights generation really means. I keep saying integration, but you all remember, I defined integration for you. Integration, as interpreted by the mind of the civil rights generation, is interracial sexual access. That's why you've got this LGBT police chief in Aurora, Colorado, that is letting her officers violate Black people's rights, murder and kill with reckless abandon all over the damn place. Oh, well, Black folk in Denver and Aurora and Boulder, brother, you ain't seen places where swirling was more the thing to do than there. Those were their priorities, was interracial sex and weed, legalizing interracial sex and legalizing marijuana. Guess what? Black folks in Colorado, interracial sex is legal, marijuana is legal, and you are still getting jacked up by the police left, right, and center. You've got all the interracial sex and all the marijuana you can handle. Let's hope you make it alive from the grocery store today. And that's what's happening out there where you're talking about. It's not a matter of money, it's a matter of priorities. Thank you very much for giving us a call tonight. Let me get called from area code 908. You're on live with the Black Channel. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Omar from Trenton.
Okay, Omar from where?
From Trenton, New Jersey.
Omar from Trenton, what's on your mind?
Do you believe that craziness Roland Martin said about him checking Khalid Muhammad?
Hell to the no way, no. And that's all I really got to say about that. No, that was a work of fiction of monumental proportions. Anybody who takes that seriously is too dumb to take out the time to convince them. Thank you very much for giving us a call tonight, please. Khalid Muhammad would have stomped a mud hole in his jelly donut built ass if he had. Khalid Muhammad's subordinates would have jacked up Roland Martin if he had done something like that. Khalid Muhammad wouldn't have had to do nothing. Khalid Muhammad's subordinates would have handled that. This nigga is selling science fiction. Yeah. Caller from area code 443. You're on live with the Black Channel. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Oh my God, Jason Black.
Yes, turn off your speakers.
Oh my God, Jason. This is D, Socially Sophie. I really didn't want anything. I was just listening to you in the background. Yeah, and listen to all the crazy callers. I love the sign Breonna Taylor produced justice. I'm reposting it on my Twitter account. I'm not trying to be funny or silly. I appreciate you for everything that you do. Be one. That's all I gotta say.
Well, thank you very much for giving us a call. Okay. And she's been listening to us for years, so thank you very much for giving us a call for the first time.
You.
Well,
I love y'all. I just love y'all.
Well, thank you very much, and be one, sister. Absolutely. Let me get a caller from area code 862. You're on live with the Black Channel. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Hi, Jason.
Hi. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Hi, this is Symphony. I live in Wilmington, Delaware.
Symphony in Wilmington, Delaware. What's on your mind?
Yeah, I just wanted to tell you that I'm very grateful for everything that you've done. And I just wanted to know, did you hear the snippet or video with T.I. and Jane Elliott when she actually revealed
Did I hear? Yeah, a lot of folks are just asking me tonight. The ladies tonight, women are good for gossip. So they're asking me, did I hear this? Did I hear that? Yes, I know about T.I., I know about Jane Elliott. And here's my thing. My thing is, we shouldn't get into let this be a reminder to you all that we can't, it doesn't bother me what Jane Elliott said because Jane Elliott ain't leading the agenda. Jane Elliott is not leading the agenda. We give the marching orders to her, not the other way around. So that where we get into trouble is when we get some white person and they gonna educate us about white supremacy. No, No, the only thing you can do is confirm it. The only thing you can do is confirm it and then follow our orders on what you gonna do. You don't get to tell us Jane Elliott wants to just deconstruct white supremacy. She does. But you have to understand you're still dealing with a white woman. So she's gonna try to ease it down. She's gonna try to bring it in for an easy, slow landing. And we're like, oh no, rip the wings off that son of a gun. We're gonna crash this damn thing. So, and of course she doesn't want to really crash it because she's in the boat. Okay, she's in the boat. So what this is just a reminder, Jane Elliott, she can say whatever she wants to say, that's fine. But baby, you don't leave, you're not going to set the agenda of how we're going to deconstruct white supremacy. All you can do is, all she can do is back our play.
Why do we allow other groups of people to dictate or come in our conversations when we're not invited to any other groups of people in their conversations on how they can improve their community? Why do we allow that?
Well, we shouldn't be doing that at all. We need to talk to each other and we need to dictate to everyone else. Thank you very much for giving us a call. Let me get a caller from area code 651. You're on live with the Black Channel. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Hey, Jason, how you doing? It's Frank from St. Paul.
Frank from St. Paul. What's on your mind?
I just wanted to call, man, real quick. First of all, I haven't spoke to you in a while. I got all 3 of the DVDs. I just wanted to let everybody know that. And I just wanted to start out talking about power, because the one thing you taught me in those DVDs is how to snatch up power, how to take power locally, how power works statewide, how power works federally. And basically, these people, these listeners that you're talking to, they need to start taking power. They need to take power in their own hands locally. They need to take, power in their own hands statewide. And then we can start talking about federal crap. But they need to start learning what power really means, how it's dictated, how you take it. It's something that you earn on your own, and nobody's going to ever give it to you.
Well, very, very true. I can't improve on that statement anymore. Thank you very much for giving us a call. As far as Jane Elliott is concerned here, let me be very, very clear with everybody about this. We're not here. You're not going to tell us how we going to get liberation. That's where you can pump your brakes. You're not going, see, the problem comes in when we talk to white folk about how to deconstruct racism. First thing they want to do is say, okay, let us get back in the driver's seat and tell you what the strategy will be. That's how we ended up with the dead end, red herring con game that is integration. We asked white folk, how do you deconstruct racism? And white folks said integration. Now let us define and set up how you will integrate. What changed for us? So no, you can't tell us nothing. Every time we talk about what we're going to do, some white person wants to jump in the driver's seat and say, okay, let me lead the way. If you want reparations, okay, I'm 100% in favor of reparations. Great. Now, you Negroes brought the agenda of reparations, but let me tell you how reparations should be executed. No, baby, you can't lead none of that. You can't lead us about reparations. You can't lead us about stopping police violence. You can't lead us about dealing with white supremacists. All you can do is back our play. You can't lead anything. You can't lead nothing. You're not here to tell us what to do. We ain't looking to you for leadership on what to do about white supremacy. See, there's where you all get messed up. Y'all heard her talking to T.I. and it's, ooh, Jane Elliott telling us what to do. No, people, you got to know where to tell them, yeah, okay, you were doing good till you got there. Got to put you back where you belong now. You're stepping out of your bounds. You're doing what white people do. You saw a group of Negroes and you said, okay, I'm going to tell y'all how to get this done. No, you're here to back our play. You're not here to tell us how to get freedom, justice, and equality. You're here to back our play when we move on freedom, justice, and equality. But I'm not offended by what she said because it was like Charlie Brown's teacher. Wow, wow, wow. Baby, you ain't said nothing to me. I'm not consulting with you about how do we stop white supremacy. I know how to stop white supremacy. I'm just here to expose and confirm white supremacist tactics. But I'm not waiting on you to tell me, okay, here's the game plan. Here's the steps we're gonna take to deal with it. I ain't asked you for all that. You know why I didn't ask you for all that? Because I don't need you to tell me what to do. I don't need you to tell me in what order reparations should be given, how it should be done, who it should be given to, who deserves it. I'm not consulting with you. So that's where niggas get it wrong. I'm not offended by what she said because this isn't people. You heard it only on the Black channel. Our liberation ain't up for a vote. Our empowerment isn't up for a debate. And reparations isn't up for a discussion. Our survival is not up for a vote. So you can't come to me when I tell you this is what we're supposed to have, and then you say, okay, let's negotiate. Oh, hell no. No. You ain't listening. I said this is what it's gonna be. And then you think it's gonna be a debate. Oh no. The reason I didn't say anything else after you started talking is because you are under the misconception that we are negotiating. No, I am dictating to you what will be. I'm dictating to you what will be. But it's not up for a discussion. It isn't. It's not. So you can go get T.I. and anybody else you want. But when you open your mouth to say, okay, I agree with reparations, the sentence is done. I don't need anything else from you. When you go to vote on election day, you follow up and confirm what you just said. If you don't confirm it in the election booth, then you're one of the confirmed white supremacists. But that white supremacist tendency that permeates the society as a whole, see, it started to rear its head when you were asked about reparations. And what I'm saying is, we're going to put you back in your seat now. That little white supremacist tendency, as soon as we said, okay, we're going to let you speak on this, as soon as we let you speak on it, you tried to take it over. See, the problem is you think you get in a room full of black folk and that if we start discussing something with you, the first thing you want to do is take it over. I'm here to lead you. The hell you are. We didn't ask you to come lead us. Well, maybe T.I. did. We ain't asking. Black America is not asking you to lead us. We're not asking you to clarify what we need and how we need it. So no, it doesn't bother me at all. But what do I think of it? I think that this is what happens when you empower white people to speak on black issues. You run the risk that they are going to do what they've always done. And they may agree with you in principle, but if you open the door to say, okay, what do you think of what we're doing? They're going to be very tempted to take it over and say, you Negroes are doing it the wrong way. Here's how it needs to be done. Here's the roadmap. I'm just saying, no, we got the roadmap. We don't need to listen. We don't need your help at this point. For this part, we got this. We don't need your help for this. Everything up until then, you're doing good. And folks, listen to me, brothers and sisters. This is how you must approach the dominant society in general. You must approach them this way in general, because understand something. And I'm not even, one of the other reasons I'm not upset is because that's the way that power works. Negroes are getting offended. That's the way that power works. Power doesn't sit down at the table and try to let you give it things. Power sits, these are people from powerful societies. So she's operating on reflex. She's operating on reflex. People, come on now. You claim you read the ISIS papers. You claim you read the destruction of Black civilization. You claim you read Black Power, White Wealth. And yet when a white person acts like a white person, you're shocked, you're surprised, you're offended. No, she comes from this is a part of the condition of history, as Dr. John Henry Clark said. They come from a powerful society. So when she heard that you were discussing the exercise of power, she did what people from powerful groups do and tried to see how she could corral and harness some of it for herself. It's reflexive. It's reflex. Y'all niggas acting offended, but this is reflex. This is reflexive. That wasn't even something she had to think about. She saw a room full of Negroes coming to her, and she did what power does. Well, let me show you what needs to be done. No, you got it wrong. Let me give you the real deal. Let me give you the real step by step. That's what powerful groups do. When you invited them in for this one. So no, I'm not offended. I'm not upset. I think the first fellow who talked to her about that, he did it the right way. He was like, no. We ain't doing that. You're doing good till you got here. Like that Bill Duke meme. This is where you messed up at. No, that's it. So this is why you can get white contributions, but you cannot accept white leadership. We can take white support, but we're not. This is what happens when you start getting white partnership. The partnership very quickly evolves into a dictatorship, where the thing you just told them you're here to get, they tell you, okay, we ain't doing that. So no, we can take white support, but we cannot take white leadership. Otherwise, we'll never get where we're going. And this is just reflexive. I ain't even mad about it. I'm not even mad. I'm not even mad. Because you know why? This is a test for us to accept. Because as Black people, we have got to set up the boundaries for both our white enemies and our so-called white allies. Everybody is coloring outside the lines, and everybody is testing the boundaries because we haven't set up firm boundaries for everyone. You see, you can't allow your so-called white allies to define what it is that constitutes being a white ally. Do you all understand that? Do you understand that? You cannot allow white people to define what constitutes a white ally. We are the ones, we are supposed to be the sole source that dictates and defines that. They don't get to walk in the room and say, hi, I'm one of your white allies. You don't get to declare yourself a white ally. We are the ones who make that declaration. We are the ones who certify you. Or let me put this more concisely. We're the only ones with the power to declare you a white ally. You don't get to walk in the room and declare yourself. We are the ones who certify your status. You have no power to do that. There is no discussion to be had with you. If you meet the criterion, we'll let you know. And she found out the hard way. Yeah, we saw that little trick bag. No. That reflexive tendency to walk in a room full of black folk and take control, take power. No, we saw it. And we said, no, we ain't buying that. So far as I'm concerned, I'm cool with it. Because I understand the language of power. Caller from area code 702, you're on live with the Black Channel. What's your name? Where you calling from?
This is Anthony from Las Vegas.
Anthony from Las Vegas. What's on your mind?
Glad you got on to this sorry ass motherfucker New York. It's basically just talking shit, selling fucking products left and right, and the videos and so forth, and pushing the little bullshit ass products left and right. You're in a lot of fucking prisons out there, so you hear like any fucking channels. You know, something on Twitter, some fucking rapper on Twitter talking about this shit or that shit, or nonsense. You know, never talk about he's kind of taking this power and stuff. You know, for instance, they always talking shit about brothers from the South. And last time I checked, I don't think they have a fucking market for it.
Not yet.
You know, especially a lot of Eric Garner is so dumb with 30 to 40 motherfuckers standing around yelling.
Well, what it is, brother, is in a lot of these places, what people have done, and I noticed this as a person who's not from a big city, and I've told people about this, niggas that believe in their own hype, that all you have to do is say, I'm from New York, and just the fact you were born there is some type of accomplishment. So niggas are sitting here watching a bunch of people with real resources in New York, a place that movies get made about, shows get made about every day. And so you are vicariously, because there are people who are prosperous in New York, you're saying that, well, I was born there, so I'm vicariously prosperous too. And what we really got them on is now understanding, no, you're in a bad situation, you're at the bottom of the barrel, and it's not going good for you. Thank you very much for giving us a call. I'm going to take one more caller. Area code 512, you're on live with the Black Channel. What's your name? Where you coming from?
Hey, JD.
Okay, well, what was that name again? Blackson out of Princeton. What's on your mind?
Yeah, so, you know, if you remember, speaking on Oprah, being a double agent that she is back in early, remember the late 90s, early 2000s, called out those cattle farmers about, people should stop eating beef and, you know, cause a big ruckus amongst, of course, the rest of those crackers out there. So, what did she do immediately after that? She went and opened a school in Africa. And, you know, the controversy behind that was trafficking young girls out of there. And also, you know, familiar with the Harvey Weinstein pictures. And, you know, at a point, thinking, she's trying to satisfy, you know, the black community by calling out those people. But at the same time, she still had to pledge her allegiance to those same white people and helping them traffic those girls to Africa, and also, you know, still stay on that same white agenda with Harvey Weinstein.
Well, you know, those are the people, though, that brought it to the dance, brother. Because here's the thing that black folk don't understand: we didn't bring Oprah to the dance, man. We didn't do that. Thank you very much for giving us a call. We didn't bring Oprah Winfrey. Oprah Winfrey was brought to us. We didn't bring Barack Obama. Barack Obama was brought to us. And we didn't vet the folk and say, hey, who brought you here? Or as you all know, I like to say, who goes there? Who brought you? Nigga, where you from? Who knows you? Who can vouch for you? We didn't do that. We didn't do that. And that's the result of it. This is why they keep harping on celebrity, because celebrity is supposed to be a way of bypassing your defenses. That's what celebrity is supposed to be for. These people emphasize celebrity on us so much because celebrity is supposed to be a way of saying that you know somebody, a person you never met. So this person you've never met, you gain this affinity, relationship, whatever you want to call it, to somebody you never even met. So that's why they harp on it and focus on it and beat the drum on it so much, because celebrity is a method and a strategy to circumvent actually getting to know someone. That's the whole purpose of it. These are people you don't know. But if we put enough money behind them and if we put enough notoriety behind them, well, you've convinced yourself that you know them. You've convinced yourself that this is a person you know, that this is a person you ate with, and that this is a person who knows you. So this is one of those reasons right there. You can't subscribe to that. You can't subscribe to that. You got to see it for what it is. You got to see it for what it is. We don't need to have white allies speaking for us. We don't need to have celebrities speaking for us. So it doesn't bother me. It doesn't bother me. But you notice who they're not speaking to like that. They ain't speaking to the streets. They're not speaking to the streets. And I'm okay with that too, because you got to understand, if Oprah is, me and Oprah are never, ever gonna be cool enough for us to converse back and forth like that. We're two separate types of people. We got two separate agendas in life. It's never gonna be that way between me and Oprah. Not now, not ever. It's never gonna be that way. Never. And the reason it's never gonna be that way is because she and I got two totally separate goals. We come from two totally separate places. She is comfortable with a level of white supremacy that I will never be comfortable with. Ever. I'll never be comfortable like she is, nor do I desire to be. So if the two of us sit down in a room and start talking, we can't do nothing but clash. You do understand that. She identifies with white supremacy. There is no part of Oprah Winfrey that says crush, mangle, and destroy white supremacy. Oprah Winfrey is empathize and integrate white supremacy. She and I could never get along. We could never get along because she has a level of comfort with white supremacy, and I'll never have that, nor do I wish to have it. So we can't do nothing but clash. We can't do nothing but come into conflict. How could we ever do anything else? We could never do anything but come into conflict. Because she gets her money and her status and her comfort and her friendship from the system of white supremacy, and I'm here to destroy that system. I'm here to burn it to ashes. Don't you understand that she gets scared when niggas talk like that? Don't you all know that Oprah Winfrey, the worst thing in the world would be a vibrant and thriving Black society? Because Oprah Winfrey knows how to talk to white people. She don't know how to talk to none of us. I'm not exaggerating here. I'm not being hyperbolic. I'm just saying it straight. Brothers and sisters, she don't know how to talk to them. She doesn't know how to talk to us. She only knows how to talk to the dominant society. She knows about sitting around talking about their little poodle dogs and the country club. And my third ranch house and my vacation home in the Hamptons. People, she don't know how to talk to us, nor would she be comfortable doing so. She's just tried to pull off this folksy Southern accent when she's around them to make them think, oh, you hear that? She pulled off a Negro Southern accent. why, she's one of those people there. And if I can just connect to her, why, that's good enough as if I know all you niggas. So yes, her and Gail and the rest of the bougie, boule, boot-kissing ass lick, them Negroes. Them Negroes. Those folks have done everything they can, but they can't speak for us. They can't speak to us. They're not comfortable with us. They're not comfortable with any of us. There's no way you could sit them down with any of us. She's used to sitting around with a bunch of white women in exclusive gated communities at exclusive stores. She's used to that. Places that you and I ain't never seen and ain't never been. And I know about a lot of places, but Oprah Winfrey's got access to places in this country that I've never seen because you can't get access to it. Nobody knows it's there unless you tell them it's there. She don't know nothing about us. She doesn't know anything about us. Our experience offends her. Do you understand? Our experience as Black people is offensive to her. She don't want no part of it. Nothing. So when you see her come riding into town, like Jane Elliott saying, all right, wait, you street revolutionaries, y'all been standing up for Black folk, and you've been the only one talking for Black people because I've been hiding out with them white folk. You've been fighting. Yeah, I've been hiding out with them all this time. But I'm here now to take the reins. And I'm here to tell you that the killers of Breonna Taylor must be arrested and charged. And brothers and sisters, I want to ask you a question. Oprah Winfrey probably didn't have a problem with Amber Geiger being arrested and charged for the murder of Botham Jean. I want to ask you all right now, do you think that Oprah Winfrey, when she says arrested and charged, that ain't saying prosecuted and convicted? That's not saying given the maximum penalty. When Oprah's taking a look at them after they're arrested and charged and they're on the stand, and all the white men that Oprah Winfrey is laid up with, oh hell. Did I just say that? I think I just did. All the white men that Oprah Winfrey has laid up with. When she sees them white men on the stand, is she going to say, hang them high, or is she going to say, forgive, forgive? What they did was wrong, but people make mistakes. Yeah, it sounds good on the front end. See, a lot of y'all haven't thought this through. Yeah, these billboards look good on the front end. But just like with Jane, if you give them too much power to speak, don't you know they lead somebody who has never been on our side, and you truly believe that this isn't part of the trick bag also? Brothers and sisters, white folk acknowledge racism. White folk acknowledge racism. It's no problem to get white people to concede that there is racism. The problem comes when you say, now let's punish it. Then all of a sudden, everything changes. It's no big thing to get Oprah Winfrey to acknowledge the existence of racism. She's been doing it for 40 years. The problem comes when you say, all right, Oprah, come over here and help us punish these white supremacists. Then it becomes forgive, forgive. Well, can you all hear Oprah Winfrey in the courtroom? Well, everybody's got a little racism in them. Do you all think that Oprah Winfrey would tell you that Black people cannot be racist because white supremacy and racism require power? Do you think Oprah Winfrey is going to sit up there in front of her white friends and say, no, Black people cannot be racist? You can, but not us. You think she's going to do that? You think, has she ever done it? No. You think she's going to start now? Yeah, you can go buy all these billboards, but are you going to say what we're saying? No. They should be arrested and charged. All right, when they start talking about convicted and maximum penalty, Oprah gonna let you know, oh, wait a minute. He looks like a dude I used to date back in college. See, when I saw both of Jean's family and whatnot, you see Amber Geiger, blonde-headed, blue-eyed, and you got to start asking yourself, you know what? Man, she looks like a chick you used to lay up with, nigga. You trying to get her a life sentence, and she looks like a broad you used to lay up with. No wonder you talking about forgive. You looking at me like I'm crazy. I ain't never laid up with no chick look like Amber Geiger, so it ain't no psychological hurdle I gotta get over. You can give the wench the chair. She don't look like nobody I used to lay on top of, so she can go. But these integrated niggas, they gonna stop you quick. Wait now. One of them cops looks like Roger Ebert. You know, I used to date him. People make mistakes. Forgive. We all a little racist. No, people just understand. If you fall for this, and there have been some people who have, most haven't because of the new black media, but if you're one of the dumb niggas trying to fall for that because you used to folks in your family abusing you and messing you over and lying to you, and you're a gutless liar too, so you have no problem with liars because you have no problem with Oprah Winfrey lying to you because you lying to all of us. There's the folks who falling for that, but the majority are not going to fall for that because it's a new day, and they got us to speak for it. But I want you to be clear that the methods of the street level revolutionaries have resonated with the people. And a bunch of well-heeled, well-financed individuals are trying to convince you that they got this. But that's not going to work. The celebrities are not going to be able to play Pied Piper anymore. That day is over. Oh, they're going to keep trying. It's the only tool they got in their toolbox. But they're finding it ain't working like it used to. But don't expect them to abandon it. Don't expect them to abandon it. If you are new here to the Black Channel, welcome to the haven of intelligent Black thought. Over 100,000 subscribers and rising. Listen, we are not a little thing. If you haven't clicked that red subscribe button, go ahead and do that, and then click that yellow notification bell so you can keep up with us. Yes, YouTube has us under a shadow ban, but you want to make sure you add to that number so that people can see it. The fact that so many of you clicked that red subscribe button, we were able to put together the numbers that could not be denied. YouTube kept unsubscribing people, and we kept making sure they stayed with us so that they could see this thing is real. The likes that we get are real. The subscribers are real. Our engagement is real. Roland Martin with 300,000 subscribers, and niggas stopped watching 3 years ago with 300,000 subscribers, but only 2,000 views when he posts a video. The streets ain't fooling with him. The streets rock with us. Click that red subscribe button and click that yellow notification bell. And someone was asking about this in the chat room earlier. If you've not been to our website, blackchannelfilms.com, that is blackchannelfilms.com, you want to go there and check out our groundbreaking, award-winning, Amazon best-selling documentary work, 7 a.m., Gentrified, Ethnic Cleansing American Style, our newest documentary, Race War. You want to go check those out. They're available right now, so you can get up to date. Blackchannelfilms.com. That is blackchannelfilms.com. And this concludes tonight's broadcast of the Black Channel. I am your host, your brother, your humble servant, the Black Authority. And until next time, my brothers and my sisters from around the world, remember, Black is the future, and the future is uncompromising.